Good morning, people of the cardboard, and welcome back to Fundex. So we have some actually really interesting reveals coming out of Beyond the Brave. We have further invoked support. This is interesting because this means that we're starting to get some legacy support. We already got a huge wave of invoked in Chaos Origins, and now we're getting additional cards in Beyond the Brave. This also suggests that other archetypes that were kind of started in Beyond or in Chaos Origins could get support. So that's Blitzclick, that's the Ritual Nine Darkness, maybe the Sacred Beast stuff too. But at least those other two, I think people are really excited about them, but they're missing a little bit. So hopefully getting some additional support can help. Let's see if this fixes Invoke. Invoke hasn't seen a whole lot of play, I think, in the OCG, and people are excited about the TCG, but it's mostly floodgatey stuff. It misses actual, or it's missing good end board pieces, good going second tools. So hopefully they can fix it. So we have two cards, a fusion and a spell. So starting off with the fusion, Invoke Deanima. It's a level 8 Dark Fiend fusion, attack 29, defense 15, and the materials are one Alistair monster and one monster special from the extract. This is big because it means that you can use either the original Alistair or the new Alistair, the one when he's holding a sword. The newer fusions are using this clause. This is really good. And also, this is a very easy, condition to fulfill. It's very common to go and link off your Alistair for like Almirage, and then you can fusion from that. Cool. So you only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. So first, if card is fusion summoned, you can activate one of these effects. Destroy all monsters or all opponent's monsters special from the extract, and destroy all spell traps your opponent controls. Okay, so it's a good going second tool. Cool. And then two, when your opponent activates a card or in the graveyard, you can banish this card. Special one Alistair monster from your deck, and if you do, negate the effect. Ooh, interesting. Well, you're playing so many copies of Alistair. I'm not actually sure the ratio of new versus old Alistair, but regardless, this is actually pretty big. I know the new Alistair does get its like surge on special summon, so that's a big deal. But having this additional negate is actually pretty important. So I guess the goal of this is actually to be a target you can special summon during your opponent's turn. They have a really big monster you can do with that. It requires only fusion monsters. So this card's nice because you can theoretically make it without having to go through all that. Just use the sword to fusion summon this during your opponent's turn, pop all their monsters or all their spell traps, which is cool. Obviously, it only hits the monsters from the extract, but it's still nice. And then this effect is at least some type of negate, which is cool. It negates an effect in the graveyard. If I think it could have been a graveyard and hand negate, that would have been a bigger deal, help them through hand traps and whatnot. Because, like, are you going to make this or Makaba? I think you're still making Makaba, you know? It's still more generic, and the biggest things you're negating in the graveyard are monsters anyway, so fine. Anyway, I'm probably going to get this. This one's hard. I like this card for it. I'm going to give this 3 out of 5. Fair. It's something that can do that's not a floodgate, not a dark law type thing. And that's cool. I just don't know if that's quite enough. So let's see if they can tie together in the spell. This is, well, there's Invocation Grail or Invocation Chalice. It's this card. Cool. It really just looks like a Forbidden Chalice S card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. If you have an Alistair monster in your field, graveyard, or banishment, add one or activate one of these effects. Fusions on one invoke monster from your extract by banishing one monster from your hand, field, and one from your deck. Hand or field and one from your deck. So it's basically should all fusion. That's cool. Or fusion summon one invoke monster from your extract by banishing one monster you control and one face-up monster your opponent controls. Ooh, interesting. Before we jump the gun, I do believe you have to declare what you're activating at the point of activation. I don't think you can just say, okay, I'm activating this card and like choose to, super poly. Choose to super poly if your opponent, doesn't respond. And if they do, then go and someone like use the deck instead. But this is really cool. I like this. This is basically a Shadal fusion and then a super poly when you want it to. That's all like very interesting. It does banish from the deck. So this means, I guess it's designed to work kind of with the original Alistair stuff, which is better at recycling. But this also, I'd have to double check the ruling. Like the cool leap we could do would be that the invocation fusion could add back the Alistair to your hand, and then it would put itself in the deck again, so to complete your loop. This doesn't have that, which is fine. But yeah, I really like this. This is super generic, and I think it's a good card going first, but it's also really good going second. It's non-targeting banishment of your opponent's stuff too. If they have a full field, you can just activate this. Say you're going to be using their monster, and it's, pretty good. I will note that for some reason on this second banishment, it is like a super poly that you don't have the option to use a monster in your hand, unlike the first effect, which can use a hand or field. So that's interesting. It is interesting. I know I keep saying that word. I'm so sorry. It's weird that they do make it legitimately like a Shaddoll fusion, and then I guess the Shaddoll fusion can do both from next, so not quite. But it is weird that they remove the hand. I guess it means that it's okay going second to it, but not the greatest. I also would have to go through and double check if they can search this. I don't know if you can get any invocation spell. Like I said, I think the Alistair goes for just invocation, and the new Alistair goes for invocation sword. I'm not sure if you can just get this willy-nilly, but I'll leave it to you, the fans to let me know. I do think this is cool, and both of these cards address an issue of going second. I think the deck struggle with. I do think this has some limitations, but overall, pretty interesting. Let me know. Oh, I forgot. I have to rate this card. I think I'm also going to go 3 out of 5. Fair. I think both of these are really cool in what they're trying to do. I just think they're a little too fair, in how they're doing it. If this could do the, I guess, super poly effect with a card in your hand so you can just plop it down without having to commit a monster to the board, that would be pretty cool. Both of these effects require you to have Alistair in field and graveyard regardless. So that's annoying. I just picture you trying to use this to clear your opponent's monster, and then they chain like a compulse or something to remove the monster you have in field, and suddenly you're just out, or SOL. So that's okay. But yeah, and then this card, it's cute. I just think it's a little limited. Obviously, it's pretty okay going second, and the deck can make it during opponent's turn. But I think its negation effect is just, again, too fair. But that's my take. I'm excited about these. I'm not sure if these fix the deck, but I'll leave that to, the combo of video channels. But we're going to get more Beyond the Brave reveals. Like I said, we are getting a live stream in a few days, and then we have several legacy support that we're expecting. Now, usually what Konami does when they do this is they will have it back to back to back. So I would expect tomorrow we would get like Blitz Click, and then they probably save the Yugi support to the following day. And it looks like I would assume we'd get 2 cards for each archetype as well. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It might just be a single card depending on how playable the archetype is. But they tend to do these patterns. At least that's what I remember. I think this also might be one of the last extra cards. I'll have to double check the numbering because you can kind of predict if we are running out of like extras. Like I think we maybe only have 1 link left. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. So without further ado, fun deck. See you soon.